Good afternoon, everyone. We'll get started in just another minute for those that are already online. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the third session of the South Australia webinar series. For those I don't know, my name is Maite Conway, and I'm the Regional Director for South Australia, based in Los Angeles, along with my colleague John Daw from South Australia Tourism, Marketing Manager. And today we are very lucky to be joined by Paul Mullen, who is the Regional Manager for the Limestone Coast, and will be talking to us about attractions and tour options along the Limestone Coast. As well as Paul, we have Matt Guy on the line, our Marketing Executive, who is based in Adelaide.
Good morning,
just a reminder, welcome Matt and Paul.
Hi everyone.
Just a reminder before we get started, if you have any questions, to go ahead and type them into the chat box, and we will address them at the end of the session. And without further ado, I am going to pass it on to Paul to talk to us about the Limestone Coast.
Yeah, hello everyone, and welcome to the webinar on the Limestone Coast. I'm Paul Mullen, the Regional Manager of the Limestone Coast. I actually am based in the region, based in Mount Gambier, and born and bred in the Limestone Coast. So I hopefully have a fairly good knowledge of the area. So yeah, feel free to have any questions when they raise. For the people that don't know where the Limestone Coast is, where I guess would be a lot of people, as you can see on the first slide, we are in the southeastern corner of South Australia. You can see Adelaide up in the top left-hand corner, and across to Melbourne in the bottom right-hand corner. So we're about, so Mount Gambier, the second largest city in South Australia, is almost exactly halfway between Melbourne and Adelaide. The Limestone Coast is a very diverse region. It is one of those places in Australia that actually does have 4 distinctive seasons. It has a summer, it has a winter, it has a spring and an autumn. So you get a different feel at every time of the year. We have many different attractions. Okay, sorry about that. So probably the major towns of the Limestone Coast are Narracourt, Robe, Penola and Coonawarra, which actually join in together, and Mount Gambier. Mount Gambier's famous attractions are the Blue Lake. Now the Blue Lake is a old volcano. It's still currently seen as being dormant. It hasn't been out of action for long enough to be called extinct, but it is a large crater, and it is since filled with water, which is fed by underground water tunnels, and it is actually the source of the town's water supply. Now the Blue Lake is quite famous in the fact that it actually changes colour. Every year around mid-November, it goes from a steely grey colour to that brilliant blue that you can see on the slide. It's taken many years to work out why, and I'm not sure 100% sure if they actually know exactly how it is, but it's generally due to when the water gets warmer, calcites come to the surface and reflect the sun a lot better, so it turns into that really bright blue colour, which is quite amazing. And right next door is a parkland called the Valley Lake, which again is quite interesting in the fact that the Valley Lake is about 500 metres from the Blue Lake, but it does not change colour. It is a steely grey the whole time of the year, so it is quite interesting to see the differences there. Now the Blue Lake, you can actually get down to the water surface and do an aquifer tour, and they'll explain how the lake has formed, and lake is approximately at its deepest about 90 metres deep, so it is a very large lake. A couple of other attractions are the Engelbert Cave and Umfeston Cave. Now they're sinkholes which have just been worn away throughout many years. As you can see, the second picture there is a slide of Umfeston Caves. So it's just, there's gardens at the bottom where you can walk down, and the whole area is fed by underground caves. If you may or may not have known the latest blockbuster movie from James Cameron, Sanctum. Now Sanctum is a story about underground cave diving, and a lot of the pictures and all the sound and backdrops and that were actually filmed in the Limestone Coast region for that. James Cameron visited the area 2 times to get his pictures and that ready for the backdrop to be filmed up in Queensland. So it does have an amazing, it's an amazing place to visit. Cave divers from all around the world come and visit the Mount Gambier region. Robe's on the coast is probably the most popular place in the Limestone Coast for travellers, because you can reach all of the attractions within 1 hour from Robe. You can reach up to the Coorong, across to Naracoorte, to the Coonawarra region, and down into Mount Gambier. So Robe is famous for its pristine beaches. As you can see, the third picture there is of Long Beach, which is one of the beautiful long beaches in Robe. It's a quiet seaside village. It has boutique shopping, fresh seafood, and there's so many different activities, from surfing, fishing, and obviously just relaxing. But Robe's one of those places which in the winter months has a population of about 1,500, but swells to about 10,000 during the summer months, because of all the housing and that which the locals visit during the summer season. Penola is sort of inland and is quite famous for its nearby Coonawarra wine region. Coonawarra is world famous for its red wine, and it has probably, especially the Cabernet Sauvignon, it is world recognised as being one of the best Cabernet Sauvignon regions in the world. Penola itself is a historic little town. It's a very old world town, but it has some amazing award-winning restaurants, and it has got some beautiful accommodation, anywhere from hotel accommodation all the way through to bed and breakfasts, and really high quality 4.5 to 5-star boutique accommodations. The other thing that Penola is famous for, and is famous for Australia-wide and worldwide, for the Christian population, Mary MacKillop has become Australia's first saint. In October last year, she was canonised, and all of her work began in Penola, and there is plenty of historical memorabilia. There's also a Mary MacKillop Interpretive Centre. So it's one of the things our region's very proud of, the fact that we have the first and only saint in Australia that started all her work in Penola. And now, even for the non-Christian, her story is an amazing story, and it's certainly well worth looking at. Now, Naracoorte World Heritage Fossil Site. The Naracoorte Caves has one of the only World Heritage Fossil Sites in Australia. There's probably 2 or 3, I think, which it has 500,000 years worth of history on the fossils coming out of the caves there. There's about 5 different caves you can go and have a look through, from bat caves through to some of the more beautiful caves, as you can see in the picture down the bottom. So it's certainly well worth a look for anyone who's interested in the caving side of things.